All right, well, thank you, David and Wired, for inviting me to speak about the industry of content marketing. I wanted to start with a little bit of the history. David did a great job articulating that. When I started my fashion blog in early 2010, the idea of content was not really understood by retailers. First of all, young, inexperienced people were creating it. Content itself was disruptive to the hierarchies that already existed within the publishing world, and there was no tools to manage it, or to measure it, or to track it. And so my early experience with one US multi-brand luxury retailer, I think, is a great representation of the state of the content industry among retail about 3 years ago when we started Rewardstyle. So at Rewardstyle, we recruit every retailer one by one. And so there was a specific target list of people that I wanted to have on our platform that it was important for us to have that coverage. And I pretty much did everything I could to get in touch with those people, save throwing my body at cars. So once I finally did get in touch with someone at this particular retail company, I was just passed among employee to employee to employee. I was so excited to have that very first call and trying to explain the value of bloggers and content creators. It was like, yeah, I'm in marketing, but we don't really do content. That's not a vocabulary word here. Maybe talk to my colleague. Maybe they'll be interested. And like I said, I think that's a pretty good anecdote for the state of the industry. Things have changed quite a bit in the last 3 years. So now content is a large part of the marketing strategy for our 4,000 plus retailers. And they're spending tens of millions of dollars on content with us just this year. So this is kind of a quick snapshot of those retailers. What you'll notice is it's everyone from Net-a-Porter to ASOS to Boots. It's men's, mommy, home, fashion, style, beauty. We cover anything that a style content creator would want to talk about. Let's see. Of course, content, it's still a very young industry. I mentioned earlier that it's young, inexperienced people who are the ones that are creating this content. It's still that way, but what's, I think, really exciting for you guys and just for my generation of artists and publishers and those that are younger than myself is we've never been more equipped to ideate and to generate, to create, share, syndicate than anyone else in history. It's not that we're better photographers or better artists or better stylists, it's just that we're actually able to syndicate it. And for you guys, I think what's important for the retailers in this room is that this is a perfect storm and you really have to know how to capture this momentum. It's not going away. Over the last 3 years, Rewardstyle has fueled the arrival of the new influence in retail, which is content creators. So we provide the technical tools and education to these creators to empower them. So we now have an army of 9,000 creators worldwide across 60 countries, and they're making a very tangible impact on retail sales. So we provide these creators with the tools to promote brands and products that are related to their content. So they're now, with Rewardstyle, incentivized to create actionable organic content, which I think is, organic is a phrase that should be important to all of you. So this is across their web and social distribution channels. So the example you see here is from the Coveteur. This is a typical use case for our clients. They're using our tools to distribute, track, and monetize the content they've chosen to create. So they're going to deploy Rewardstyle's applications and strategies to discreetly promote those products that are associated with their content. And so here, if you guys can see, as I mentioned, this is a typical use case. So what we did about a year ago is we worked with the Coveteur, who's known for creating really beautiful celebrity-driven or influencer-centric content. And so they're known for their imagery, as you can see here, but that imagery means nothing if you can't act on it. So we help them to actually redesign their site, and you'll notice here that you'll see text links. We're tracking all brand and product references. We've helped them actually build this product summary, so you can click Shop the Story if you're not a reader, you just want to know all the things that are mentioned there. Of course, we power their shop page as well, so they're able to actually curate all those products from across the web and syndicate them really easily into one place. So whether their editors are on their phone or their tablet or web, they can be on Net-a-Porter. They can actually just click a button, have it syndicate to this site. So we're loading the images, we have the trackable information, all the metadata they've chosen to include there. Here with the images, this kind of like Pinterest style board here typical of content creators, it's all about the imagery. Imagery is currency, but for a retailer, it means nothing if you can't act on it, and same thing for a consumer. And I think that's what we've been hearing today across the Instagram talk with Peter, with Google. It's all about actually solving real problems for real people. I think Rewardstyle is unique in a lot of ways, but we're by no means tech for tech's sake. We're solving problems for content creators and for retailers and consumers. So now you see Nasiba with her cute jacket and sunglasses. You can click and actually get that look. Again, editors can syndicate content here just like they did on the shop page. And then, of course, we're monetizing their newsletters and social channels as well. So everything now about their content is totally actionable. And again, we're tracking that, and they're able to actually monetize that content. What's important for you, as I said earlier, is actually leveraging that momentum. There's only more and more content creators every day. How are you going to manage that group? So what we do is identify and train these top influencers worldwide. Again, they're very, very young. They don't have a lot of experience in the industry, and a lot of them, like myself, do not have a business degree. And so the education for them is critically important. I want to show you a little bit of the proof of the power of our clients. So in 2013, we drove $155 million in retail sales to our clients. This year, we will drive more than 270 million. So 174% increase. When we look at same publisher year over year, we're looking at a little over 20% more that they're actually driving to retailers. Of course, we've now opened up. So we started with just fashion bloggers. We quickly moved into lifestyle because these girls moved into their apartments, and then they got married, and so we did all the wedding stuff, and then home and kids, and then their men wanted to dress well, and as these people have grown, so have we. But then they've also started using more platforms, which I'll get into in just a moment. One stat that I'm actually really excited to talk about when we think about those platforms is a product we launched this year to really answer some of the problems that were discussed earlier about Instagram. I think several people on stage have said, you have your phone, you have this picture, it's screenshotted, and you walk into the store and say, where do I get this jacket, this dress? That is a real problem. So we actually created Like to Know It to solve that. So I'll talk about it next, but what I'm so excited about is this launched beta in March of this year. So we've only had 8 months worth of data to talk about here today, and it's already accounting for 3% of the retail sales we will drive to retailers this year. This is incredibly impactful. This is far more than we're seeing across Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, all of those combined. This is actually a pretty impactful stat. So, I'm talking about publishers and how they're embracing new channels. They do this to increase their distribution. And also there's different channels that are right for different types of creators. They're creating unique, original content on each of these channels that caters to the type of clientele that you'll find there. And this is kind of what I call the urban sprawl of digital publishing. It's platform agnosticism and diversification, which is what we're seeing among the top clients. So this is a typical blogger. She has, of course, her Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. She's syndicating out to other channels, and then her YouTube as well. Rewardstyle, we are channel agnostic. So we're developing new tools for each of these channels so that we can seamlessly track and monetize this content, so that our clients can actually, create content wherever it is that they want to be. In 2013, Instagram became the new preferred publishing platform. So what we saw is that our creators were actually creating more content on Instagram than they were on their primary domain, which is kind of a scary thought. One of our top content creators was huge on her blog. That was what was driving the most sales. And then all of a sudden, she was able to travel the world. And so she's traveling everywhere, and we see her sales numbers just declining. She's not driving any revenue for retailers anymore. And when I had a discussion with her, Sarah, we'll call her. Sarah, you've only blogged twice this month. What happened? She's like, no, I Instagram every 2 hours. I was like, okay, you can't make money on Instagram doing that. So we had to think of a solution for this. Like I said, they want to publish there. They're publishing more there. It's their fastest growing audience. You see more engagement there. And so we need to find a solution. I think, I was having a discussion at dinner last night with the other speakers. And when a creator with a large Instagram following walks into a room, doesn't even have to be a creator. It can be a celebrity, an actress, or just someone in the business industry that has established this large online presence. their social clout's visible. Your follower count is like a tattoo of your net worth on your forehead. You know, we host many publisher events, and when someone walks in the room that has the biggest Instagram following, they are the celebrity. They're like the Gwyneth Paltrow in the room. Everyone kind of like stands back and is like nervous and thinking about what they're going to say. That's kind of an incredible shift. And I think if you're a retailer in this room, I would bet that you have engaged an influencer to talk about your product in exchange for a fee on Instagram. I would also bet that you chose that influencer based on their follower count. And I would also bet that you have no idea what that drove in retail sales for you, or how actually beneficial that was from a retail perspective. I know retailers who have paid between $50,000 and $100,000 for a single Instagram at Coachella for a celebrity to wear a pair of shoes. So how can you possibly rationalize that? And I think that that's really where Rewardstyle comes into play. I would much rather have, if I'm trying to hit 4 million followers, I would much rather have 4 girls or 10 girls or 8 girls doing that, pushing that out to their unique circles of influence, than putting that all in one kind of can, if you will. So again, coming back to, you need to execute content marketing at scale. It's not just about that one creator. You also need to understand what it means to you from a true retail influence perspective, revenue. So of course, this whole Instagram phenomenon has provided an opportunity. So, you know, as of last year, we provided monetization tracking tools for every platform except for Instagram. And we needed one that empowered our publishers to provide that same level of service. Again, I want this dress. I have no idea where to get it. I'm taking it into stores, showing it to my friends. My mother-in-law sends me screenshots. You know, where can I track this down? That high level of service, it's happening across their blog and their Pinstagram. Wow, it's happening everywhere else except for Instagram. So if you think of it this way, with that kind of, you know, the girl in the store with her phone, these bloggers are like personal shoppers. And so what good is it if you've hired a personal shopper that says, here's the jacket you should buy your wife for Christmas? And you say, okay, where do I get that? She's like, no, it's just a picture. This is what you should get. You need to actually be able to act on that information. So with Instagram, what we were seeing again is this untapped, highly engaged audience that lives there. They have high purchase intent. If you look at all the kind of questions you're seeing across the platform, it's where'd you get that? Where can I buy those shoes? Is that last season? You know, you can tag Helmet Lang all day, but where do I buy that Helmet Lang product? Not every retailer purchased it. We're also seeing an influx of mobile web traffic, and then of course the rise of these new young mobile-first creators and consumers. And kind of as an aside, and something we've really been thinking about is, you know, I think the oldest form of digital marketing, which is email, and how successful that's been. So we actually created Like to Know It, which is a patent-pending consumer service that's activated by liking a photo on Instagram, which is something that you are all already doing. And so if you register for LikeToKnow.it, whenever you see an Instagram that has the LikeToKnow.it, actually the link there, that's an enabled Instagram. You can actually just like the photo, and we deliver an email to your inbox with that photo and the associated product links. Our users are actually given the choice to receive the emails daily, as soon as possible, or weekly. Something I find very interesting, 95% of them choose to receive the emails as soon as possible, within 1 minute. 95%. They want to know the information and they want it right now. You know, also what you can see here is we've had 40 million emails or more than that delivered, and over 85,000 published. This is so incredible. This is over the last 8 months. It just shows you that Instagram is a discovery platform. Our creators are driving that desire for these products, and people want to know, and they want to know right now. Let's see. You know, for our content creators, Like to Know It is invitation only. So we only work with premium publishers. Your mom, aunt, sister who has 30 followers cannot use Like to Know It as a publisher. They can only use it as someone who's gathering that information. It's unique in that our creators themselves are actually telling you what's in that photo. So a while ago when you saw that picture of, you know, the jacket with the bag, that creator actually could choose, maybe that bag sold at 15 different stores. They can choose exactly the bag that they want, which retailer they want to link it to, how many products they want to include. They have complete autonomy and control over Like to Know It, just like they do on their own blogs or anywhere else that they're creating content. They get to choose which links, you know, which products are tethered to their photos, and they are the ones who are compensated for that work. We work with the most influential creators. So it's not just Instagrammers, it's celebrities who are big on Instagram, it's bloggers who are big on Instagram, actresses, models. something that I saw today in the New York Times, Kendall Jenner doing the new campaign for, I believe it's Estee Lauder. And we work with, I guess models like her, but then also actresses. We have one actress, Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars, who has 4 million Instagram followers. We had another actress who kind of showed up on our doorstep and said, help me with my digital. And we're like, well, you have 1 million Instagram followers. What's the problem? What can we help you with? And she said, well, I lose out on jobs to Shay because she has more followers than me. So help me actually gain this digital presence. And so it's more and more important for you as retailers to be able to work with people who do have that distribution. So again, it's not just bloggers that are using this, it's magazines, celebrities, models, all the above. Retailers, you should really look at like to know it, like content marketing with this retargeting element. These are actually people who have said, I'm interested in this picture and I would like to know more information about it. So it's a very targeted group. They're requesting that follow-up. When we're talking about user content, I said that the girls and boys in magazines, they're getting to actually choose the products that are included in these images. That's really important. So what I hear and read a lot about right now is free content and how it's getting so much cheaper and how we're using user-generated content to actually promote products. When you, as a retailer, take someone's photo off of Instagram or off of their blog and you use that to sell a product, you're saying this photo has value. And currently, brands and technology companies are trying to exploit user-generated content to sell their products without compensating the creator. But creators around the world are just becoming much more savvy, and I think it's the ethical thing to do to compensate someone for their work. I think the last 2 weeks we've all seen maybe Taylor Swift come out against Spotify and some other artists that are doing things. It's all about content. It doesn't matter if it's an Instagram photo or a blog photo or a song or what type of content you're creating. The world's becoming a savvier place. You can still provide things to your consumers for free, but the content creator themselves has to be compensated. So this little kind of image I put up here is just talking about how Like to Know It as a technology is unique in the fashion space because it's a quad win. So our consumers are given access to a free service that is providing them with the information that they're requesting just on the like. Brands also benefiting from that organic promotion and endorsement from the world's top creators, and they're finally able to tie Instagram to content sales, which we'll get back to the data in just a minute. With content creators, they're able to use this technology to provide that same level of service on Instagram, that they're making it their blog now because they're able to provide that information. And they're also being compensated for their work. So those Instagram photos do have value, and we're enabling them to actually realize that value. And I think finally, when we think about the platform, Instagram wins because these top publishers are highly incentivized to create more frequent, high quality, actionable content on the platform. And since March, 85,000 enabled photos have been produced by our publishers. So I think everyone's winning in this case. Let's see. So data, I think something you're probably all very, very interested in. At the beginning of my talk, I discussed how this luxury multi-brand retailer based in the US, not interested in content, no way to wrangle it, no idea how to manage it. And so this is just a quick snapshot at one of our retailer tools. So we as a platform are here to help you kind of rationalize the content investment across all of your platforms. If, as a retailer with Rewardstyle, you only pay when a conversion happens. So I'm a blogger, I'm telling you what I'm wearing today, you click on my Tibby shirt. If you buy nothing, Tibby owes me no money. If you buy 8 things, they owe me the commission on those 8 products that you did purchase. That's for organic content. If you're trying to guarantee content on a certain date and a certain number of Instagrams, of course that's going to be paid. And I think where we are different from other agencies that you're seeing is that we actually cast based on historical performance data. So you can see, I know it's kind of tiny with all the things that are happening here, but we're tracking absolutely everything about our content creators across absolutely every platform. And so we're able to, we have a multi-brand retailer that brings us a project for September, August, says this is my budget for it, this is the type of traffic I need to drive, and this is the sales number I need to hit. We can actually back into, okay, it needs to be in the US, it's for beauty products, and so we can see which publishers are actually going to drive not only that traffic, but also the retail sales. And so we'll usually tap across 4 different platforms to achieve those goals. Again, we're casting based on historical performance data, not on follower count. I think all of you can easily go on Google and search top London fashion blogger and then track down her Pinterest and her Instagram and all of those follower accounts. But really, unless you know historically how she performs, you're not going to be able to make the smartest investment. So our goal is really to provide you with this holistic analytical view of how to be successful when you're working with publishers. We're the only ones who provide this. So a lot of the tools that you're seeing here are patent protected. We develop them in-house, and I think I've worked on the retail side of the industry, actually almost on every side of the industry, and so really understanding what all the players want to see is really important. One of the important stats that you can maybe see here is what we call RPP. It's tiny right here. For a multi-brand luxury retailer, RPP with Rewardstyle, a healthy one, is over 1,000. So again, thinking about this at scale, what are you going to be able to do to wrangle that many publishers? You need to use something that's like Rewardstyle, who's able to take care of all that for you and really help you scale. The last quick thing, if I can. Okay. Sorry, I got a little carried away. One of the coolest things that I thought about the Instagram talk earlier is when, David, when you asked her what she's excited about, it was all about Fashion Week. And so something that, like to know it as a technology, we're a very creative company and there's a lot of creative applications. And again, we're not a tech company for tech's sake, we're actually solving real consumer problems. And so when I looked at Fashion Week and the history of it, it started in the 40s. It was something to tease buyers and to sell, and editors as well. Now it's consumer. When we look at what, one of our traditional publishers, when they put up a runway video, it's getting between 2,000 and 14,000 views. This last Fashion Week, we actually worked with Max Azria Group to make 30% of their runway ready to shop. So when our content creators actually were snapping from the front row, and here you can see 9 of them. This was big bloggers, again, actresses, models, magazines, all different type of category. Together, collectively, they had 8.4 million collective reach, and 18.5 thousand emails were triggered during that event, just during the runway, from them actually posting that on Instagram and us enabling the shoppability on it. So this year I'm actually super excited to tell you that we'll be bringing that to Europe and in the luxury space. So it's a much bigger campaign with a lot larger partners now in New York, and I'm excited to again bring that here. This is just a quick look at actually some of the press that happened. Of course, CNN was there to cover it, which was a very exciting moment for us, and all the other great outlets. But we are excited to bring this to the space, and I think again one of the big discussion points today has been solving real consumer problems, and now Runway shows this investment is really now all for the consumer. They're obviously seeing more of it than the editors are, and so this is making it actionable, and you can actually tell what the ROI is on your Runway shows. Thank you.